Hello everyone, and a very happy new year. Welcome to this Grace Note, where today I want to share with you a very valuable tool and asset that you can begin to leverage immediately for success in your business, in your life in general, in your relationships. Really, this is the thing that I see as being the difference between getting something done and started and it being easy and in flow, and having a really difficult time just getting anything going. So when you leverage this particular tool that you have, this particular asset in your life, you just do better. People just do better. So what is it? It's your wisdom. So let me share a bit more about that, because that might seem too simple to you. It might seem like you don't have a relationship with that. It might seem too nerve-wracking to engage your wisdom over someone else's strategy. And let me share with you why really it's your wisdom that you want to be harnessing and leveraging more than anything else. We all have access to that wisdom. We all have the ability to tap into the correct answer, the correct direction, the easiest path. And it doesn't even take a lot of time. It's actually pretty common sense. What I see a lot of people innocently do is they forget this part of themselves. And they go in search of techniques and strategies and formulas. And there was a time in my business where that's what I did. And in fact, there was a time in my business as a coach where people only came to me for the right strategy, the right technique, the right formula to create higher levels of income, to create easier direction and marketing. And it was very innocent, it was very innocent to kind of think that that's where the power was. And there were times in my journey where I was absolutely convinced that that's what you had to do, that what you had to follow, that was what you needed to leverage, the best techniques. Now, those are very practical elements that I still engage and I don't dismiss. But the difference today is that whereas formula and strategy and technique will let you down, your wisdom won't. And so I believe that wisdom has got to come first. And then any technique or formula or strategy that you then apply after that will be successful, is more likely to work for you. The problem I see when people are having difficulty creating results, getting started in a new direction, is that they often put the cart before the horse. They put the strategy and the technique and someone else's direction in first place. And they kind of grab onto that and hope that it's going to work out. And it's very innocent. We see people being hugely successful and we want what they've got, so we better do what they do. The missing link, as I see it, is that they've gotten in tune with their wisdom. They've followed an idea, a direction, a piece of common sense, and they have literally gone in that direction and successfully implemented and created, and yes, perhaps added strategy, yes, perhaps added technique. But your wisdom is your spiritual marketing. Your wisdom is the piece that really precedes your results, precedes anything, precedes whatever is going to happen next. And my wish for anyone looking in the direction of getting started or starting something new is that they first get back in tune with that wisdom, is that they first harness and leverage that incredible asset within, and that they have then the energy and the confidence to act on it. You know, how we often let ourselves down is that we get an idea and then we second guess it, or we evaluate it, or we don't use it, or we sit on it. And that's the byproduct of insecurity. You know, there's an insecure thinker within all of us, and it doesn't want us to succeed. But in my journey, it's been so freeing to discover that insecurity is just thought streaming through. And the less we give that thought our attention, the more we'll find we have energy to act on the wisdom that's coming to us. That's how I love to help people nowadays. Whilst I still will give practical advice and strategy if it's needed, my real interest and my real direction for people is in helping them get back in tune with that wisdom and helping them get beyond those insecurities that often keep them held back or look like they have the power to hold them down. And so for me, there was a period of time where I went on the merry-go-round hunt of more technique and more strategy and more this and more that. And interestingly, I didn't enjoy any of those things. I just thought I had to do that in order to receive clients, in order to make money, in order to run a business, in order to succeed. And in the process, I sort of fell away from my own wisdom, if you like, for a while. And I got really tired. And I knew something had to change. So when I woke up one morning and every part of my being was just so ready to let go of the way I had been engaging with my business, I followed that. And I took myself off the merry-go-round and I literally stopped engaging in learning more information and learning more techniques. And this is something I encourage my clients to do. I literally encourage them to have an information detox. There's something about coming back home within and hearing yourself more clearly. And it's hard to do that if you are surrounded by a lot of noise and information. And whilst I see people have Facebook detoxes and they declare themselves on social media that they're taking themselves off, that it runs deeper than that. What I'm talking about here is actually not abstaining from social interaction. What I'm talking about here is knowing when you are lost in thought. And I find nothing revs our thoughts up quicker than thinking we don't have the answers or we're doing it wrong. You know, a lot of clients come to me and they're convinced they must be doing something wrong because it's not working. And in some cases, there is a bit of strategy that needs honed or could be tightened or could be fleshed out. But 9 times out of 10, what I notice is that they're falling again for that insecure thought. I'm doing it wrong. They're falling frequently for something that really is a gift that can be used in a different way. And I'm not talking about changing your thoughts or having more positive thoughts. What I'm talking about here is we have a gift called thought. And the reason it's a gift is that it's simply there to help you, to help us navigate life, to be here and experience life. And people innocently use it, I was one of them, to inform life, to as if the thought, that they're having in the moment, it, must mean something. What I've come to see is that thought is transitory. It's an energy that moves through us. It will always be working in us as long as we're alive. But it rarely means what we think it means. And there are some areas of life that we get very caught up in thought. We get very lost in thought. For the women that come to me in terms of building a business or leaving a job or starting something new, they tend to get lost in thought about what it takes and what they're doing wrong and what they should be doing. For others, it's getting lost in thought about their diet and image and eating and health and what they should be eating and shouldn't be eating. And anything that creates that level of noise leaves little room for wisdom. That's why I'm more interested in helping you harness your wisdom, come back home to your true nature, and use that to leverage success, and then apply your strategies, your plans, your techniques. A real confidence emerges with wisdom. That's why I often say insecurity can't touch wisdom. Because when wisdom's speaking, there's a natural confidence there. There's just a kind of ease about things. We mightn't always like what wisdom is telling us to do, but we don't get lost in thought about it. And so there's something about letting this beginning of this year not be the year that you put more pressure on yourself to succeed and more kind of expectation on yourself to be somewhere else by a certain date. I mean, those goals are worthy, but often representative of more of a sort of a self-beating up again, on what we should be doing and where we should be by now. Rather, I encourage you to really use the start of this year and use this year to be the time that you let go of all the information, all the insecurities, and instead get back into connection with your wisdom and your intuition, if you like to call it that, and your connection to that source within as a means to success. I'm currently conducting an interview series with entrepreneurs from around the world in different arenas of business. And the common denominator has been how they got started. Every one of them, from a pasta maker to a travel industry leader to a super coach to a real estate developer, like every one of them got an idea from their own wisdom and acted on it. That is the common denominator. So there is power in losing the franticness that you might have experienced last year and doing whatever it takes to engage your wisdom more, to harness it more, to leverage from there. Because I can promise you the path is easier. I remember that my wisdom spoke really loudly to me in asking me to sort of leave my job. And it seemed impossible at the time. It seemed ridiculous at the time. And I kind of spent a long time ignoring it. And in the process just got sicker and sicker. And eventually when I did follow that wisdom and an opportunity came up for me to get out of that day job, I took it. And I took it quite confidently. And then when I wanted to start something new and I had no idea how to get started and I didn't know what I could do, I remember really sort of begging for clarity on what it would be. And eventually hearing my wisdom that had been speaking to me, to get help to get clear. And my big ego at the time was sort of like, I don't need help, you know, I've got this. And my other part of the insecurity was I don't have money for that. So I delayed for quite some time. And I also wasn't familiar with, you know, what or who or how I could be helped. Anyway, eventually I did seek help and I got the help. And it was really interesting because the help I got simply confirmed what my wisdom had been telling me. But for some reason, I needed to hear it from someone else. And as I heard it from someone else, it gave me permission to just go for it. And I very quickly got myself out of victim mentality into service and sharing and acquiring clients, despite any insecure thinking about being, you know, doing it right or being qualified enough or being in the right place at the right time. So there's something about the fact that you already know, you already are clear. It might be helpful to hear it from someone else. It might be helpful to get it confirmed. It might be helpful to meditate, read, journal, go on retreat. That's one of my favorites. Spend time alone. You know, of course, be coached, be supported by someone. But remember that that's different to acquiring information. That's exploring what's already within you. And what's already within you is what we are looking for. Because when you leverage that, you will succeed. So as people talk about 2018 being the year they finally do things, being the year they finally succeed, they finally get it, what I'm talking about is 2018 being the year you finally listen to yourself and you act on it, whatever it is. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm up to. That's the place that I create from. And if anything, this year is an opportunity for all of us to become more engaged with our game, whatever that game is, to be less volatile, to be less on and off when it comes to creating and succeeding and promoting and sharing and being visible and acquiring clients and opportunities. If I can help you with that, I would love to. Please feel free to get in touch. That's what I'm about. There's something about the incredible and natural, effortless change and effortless engagement that occurs that I see in clients when they come back to that true self, when they come back to that quiet place within. And I hope these videos help you quieten down. I hope that even just a little taster from me here on these videos help you come back to that quieter state within and access whatever wisdom it is that is in you that will help you move to whatever it is you're meant to create next, whatever it is you're meant to engage next, whatever it is you're meant to avoid next. That's my New Year wish for you. So I hope this has been helpful. Please feel free to comment below. Let me know what feeling you're in now that you've heard this. Have you quietened down? Is this refreshing or reassuring? Is this scary for you? Let me know by commenting below or write to me directly on grace@citygirlconfidence.com. We have quite a few changes occurring this year too. So I'm not sitting here as a sort of an expert telling you. I'm sitting here with you, letting you know that as we all follow that wisdom, me included, the changes we need to make or want to make become effortless. And I'm wishing you the best with all of that. In the meantime, have a great day and I'll speak to you soon. Ciao.